The views, opinions, positions, or strategies expressed on WLAF TV 12 do not necessarily reflect those of the staff, management, ownership, or advertisers of WLAF TV 12, 1450 WLAF Radio, FM 100.9, or 1450WLAF.com.
Are you missing out on extra Medicare benefits that you may be entitled to? Hi, my name is Blake McCoy with Independent Insurance Consultants. If you have Medicare A and B and have Medicaid, TennCare, Q&B, or receive extra help on your prescription, drug premium, and copays, I want to make sure that you are receiving all the extra benefits that you are entitled to. Call me toll-free today, 1-866-691-5571, and let me help you.
Hi, I'm Ann Love with Linda Kilgore State Farm Agency. I have worked in the insurance and financial services industry for over 20 years, formerly with the John R.W. Brown Agency. I'm a native Campbell County and enjoy helping people with their insurance needs. Stop by and see me for all your insurance needs.
Welcome to RaisX.
RaisX has a friendly service with a family environment with that country kick. It's a family owned with delicious food, offering breakfast, lunch, supper all day long, and great steaks, wonderful salmon. Also, for that sweet tooth, pies and much more. For the kids, games, daily specials, dine in or carry out. Call 423-569-3354. Call RaisX today.
Riggs Drugs has been a part of Campbell County for generation after generation, serving our friends and neighbors. And now we have redesigned our store to better serve you. It's the same knowledgeable and friendly staff, but a new look and new technology to ensure you get your prescriptions fast. We've always got you covered from prescriptions to all your home health needs. We've always been more than a pharmacy, still offering a huge selection of gifts and decor. Here at the new and improved Riggs Drugs.
Now with a full line of independent rear suspension options, the all-new Foreman Rubicon and Rancher automatic DCT models are equally ready to work and have fun. Part of the growing ATV family from Honda.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome again to Campbell County Issues. Tonight, we're going to talk a little bit about what we talked about, the Clinchmore deal. I'm going to play you a song here just in a moment, that Clinchmore thing, and let you all hear it. It's 5 minutes and 10 seconds, but it's really, really good, and it tells a story. But first, I want to mention some of the stuff that I got here tonight, and I want to, later, I'm going to play one or two of my songs to this first half hour, I guess, and then we'll get into an issue with the young Bartley boy. I want to ask a simple questions, and I'll try to, I guess, tell you another story about one of these things. And I have trouble with sending or receiving other people's problems. And so I want to talk about that a little bit. And I know I've had several people wanting to get my CD. and it's Why Me, Lord. I'm gonna play you some of these songs, but I only got 3 left. Now, if I sell these 3, then I'll order more. But until I sell these, I'm not ordering anymore, because you know I've had these since 2008, and I got Why Me, Lord, Amazing Grace, Jesus on the Main Line, House of Gold, Precious Memories, Rank Stranger, I Saw the Light, Go Rest High on That Mountain, Calling You, Wings of a Dove, Long Black Train, and I Feel Like Traveling On. And so anyway, I'm going to play you some of those, and if you want me to play more than one or two, and you hear those songs, I'll play them. And because the reason why is the guys that was going to do the show with me tonight and talk about this Clinchmore, and they brought in a bunch of pictures, and I don't know where you can see this, because I'm here by myself, and I can't get up and take these up in front of the camera, and we don't have a monitor in here, for heaven's sakes, but we don't. And so I can't tell where I've got them in front of the camera or not, but I've got a bunch of pictures here and things that I know some of you would love to see. I've got a picture here and I'm gonna show it to see if you can see it enough. And I'd like the people to tell me what that is. Tell me what that is. And so we're going to have a good time tonight doing it. But first of all, like I said, I'm going to play that Clinchmore song. And I had never heard it until today. And last night we were talking about it over in Scott County, and this lady from Norma called and said, I've got that CD. And then, and I was going to go to her house and pick it up today. But then right after that, another person called and said, I've got that CD, and I don't live too far from you. I'll take it and put it in your mailbox. When I got to my mailbox after my show, sure enough, there it was. And I'm telling you, folks, if you'll listen to it close, it'll make the hair stand up on your head. If you've got any, you know, if you're a sentimental person, put it that way. You're on the air.
Tell him to save me one of those tapes for Ruby Marcy and leave it at the radio station.
That of mine, By Me, Lord?
Yes.
Okay, that's $10, okay?
Yes, I did. Thank you very much.
Okay, I'll leave it for, now wait a minute, I know I've got a pencil and a pad here someplace. Let me get that, and I'll write your name down because I'll forget it. And like I said, that only leaves me 2, so anybody wants them, and then
So somebody call in one of them, and I'm calling ahead. I hope.
Okay. Your name was Ruby?
Marcy, Marsee.
Okay, I've got it, and I'll give it to her, okay?
Okay, honey. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
I'll pick it up, honey.
No problem. Okay, no problem. Bye-bye. Like I said, now, like I said, if anybody gets started, because and if you've got any, if you're, it'll get to you. Just put it that way. You're on the air.
Ariel, I want a tape.
Okay.
Ann Huckley.
Ann Huckley.
Huckley.
Oh, Ann Huckley.
And I'll come by the radio station and get it in the morning.
Oh, that's fine.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Then I've only have one more, and that's it. And I will order some more later. But usually when I order them, it takes a month or 2 to get them back because it's the guy I order them from. He really stays busy. But I want you folks to just listen to this song for. It's 5 minutes and 10 seconds, and I'll just sit here and listen with you because, man, it's good as far as I'm concerned. And I hope I get it turned up right for you all to where you can hear it good. Hello.
On the night of July
What year were you?
24th in
Call me back, okay?
1965, the sky opened up and rain began to fall. Lightning ran the mountaintop and it was bright as day. Water poured off the mountain when the dams gave away. Water, rocks, mud, and timber all came down to lay in the mighty camp of Lynchburg, where the children used to play. Houses washed down the valley, mud and water was everywhere.
Okay, who is it?
People were running for their lives and mothers began to pray.
No.
Oh Lord, don't take our
I'll just put Betty in it.
let
And
them
they'll know
stay
that's.
with us some more. We are
Okay, thanks for
prepared
that.
to let them go to that great heavenly shore.
I have no more tapes left, folks.
As the water went down, the river of mud started to dry up. Bodies were scattered for miles away from this little mining town. Houses were all torn to shreds. The coal tipple was gone. The railroads were buried 6 feet deep under mountains of mud and stone. The church was left standing, not a scratch did it receive, and the Bible at the altar was turned to Psalms 23. A large boulder was left laying, and on it across the red strip mining on the mountain, left by people dead. Oh Lord, don't take our family, let them stay with us some more. We are prepared to let them go to that great heavenly shore. Now 35 years later, nothing there remains.
Hello.
The families have all moved away. Nothing is the same.
I'm gonna order some more yet.
The
talking about
Lord
my CD, not
took
this.
your grandpa, and we all wonder
Okay.
why. So many others around you were spared, and you had to die.
Okay.
Now late at night in
Okay.
the valley, you can hear their cries and the sound of the water as it goes rushing by.
I'll tell you what, I'll just announce it here on my show. You'll know it, okay?
Lightning strikes and
Okay, thank you.
thunder roars from the mountain top so high, asking for justice for those who had to die. Oh Lord, don't take our family, let them stay with us
Okay. Folks, that song is just blew me away when I heard it. And I've got all kinds of pictures here tonight, but I don't have a monitor where I can tell whether it's where you can see them or not. And I actually seen the 3 of the victims that passed in that, but there was 2 victims that they were not able to show because their bodies were mingled so bad that it was closed casket with them. And there was a 3-year-old child, a 13-year-old child, and a 21-year-old woman. The elderly man that the song talked about, Grandpa, he was one that they couldn't open. And then there was a woman that was killed with them. And that happened in the lower part of Campbell County, over near Stony Fork, up at Clinchmore. Now, the things that we talked about last night was they never did open that mines back up. And at one time, like I said, it was right at 500 people worked up there or lived up there. Not actually that 500 working, but 500 that lived up there. And I had a picture here of the company store. And what's the significance of this is, you know, I know this is a very bad tragedy, but the tragedy in my mind, and like I said, I think a little different, and sometimes I think I might be crazy, but I got a picture here that shows that the company store, I don't know where you can see it or not, but that company store belonged to the people, the man that owned that coal mines. And if I got another picture here, it shows it that where they put the houses up on the side of the mountain, and you'd have a road up the side of the mountain in front of the house, but the back of the houses were like on stilts. They were so high, and I just wished I could show them to you. And things that actually got torn completely up. I've got to find that one. I just got to find it. I thought I had them sorted the way I wanted to show them, and I've done something with one of them that I wanted to show, and I don't know whether I can show it where I know that you can see them or not. I can't believe this. What it was is where I was looking at the mail train, or mail car actually. Well, I swear, that just beats all I've ever seen. But the church house, if some of you can see this, the church house is still standing. And that's where the homecoming will be, around this church. There's people up there camping now, as we speak. But I have got to find one here, see if I can show you where you can actually see how they put their houses up on the side of those hills. And I'm going to show you something else too, here just in a moment. I can't believe it. This was Pearl Phillips' store, and that was on down the river. And the river had, I mean, it just washed out everything and killed all those people. And they're going to have this 50-year remembrance of that. But now I want to show you something else here. I'll find that thing here in a minute whenever we take a break. In fact, about it, no, this is not the one I want to show. Now, I want to show you this, and the reason this is not Clinchmore. This is Roaches Creek, the Dean Coal Company. And if you could tell this, there's just several rows of houses up in that little camp. And they employed a lot of people. They had the script also. Those were Sears and Roebuck. Those houses were ordered from a catalog. And that's around the 1900s, not maybe in the 20s, 1920s or 30s in that neighborhood. Those people, if you could see the sizes of those houses, they're not more than 24 by 16 or something like that. Look like they're probably a 2 to 3, or not more than 3 rooms in them houses, just small house. And those people, and I'd like to hear somebody call me and see if I'm wrong. Those people had anywhere from 4 to 10 kids. Almost all those people had kids. Now, when there was people that come in from the north or the south or whatever to work in those mines, and they lived in the boarding houses, and they go home ever so often. But those people that actually made their home in those mining camps, folks, and they were housed just like slaves. Now we're talking about in the 1960s. We're talking about when a lot of you folks were just born 50 years ago. And in this particular area, right here, right this behind where I'm sitting now, is the coal places of La Follette, where they made charcoal and different stuff. And it's hard to imagine that just not longer than that, we heard so much about Selma, Alabama 50 years ago. But we don't hear anything, or no one around here or anyway ever made an issue of how us hillbillies were treated. My father worked in the coal mines, several uncles. My grandfather got totally disabled in the coal mines. He got a $5,500 settlement out of that. But in 1944, that was big money. That was about a couple years after I was born. And he bought a farm with that $5,500. He still had 8 kids at home. And when my grandfather died, he'd taken that farm and those acres. The house burnt down that he bought was on that farm and burned up my little brother. But my grandfather took that land and lived off of it till the day he died. And when he died, my grandfather owned 13 acres of land, and he had owned nearly 1,000 acres of land. But he never had no money. He drew $31 a month Social Security when he died in 1963. So anyway, the story is here, and it's never been told, really told nationally, how so many, and this, you could just point out one by one, that used us dumb hillbillies because we were so thankful to be able to work and make $1 to feed our families. Now, I wasn't one of them, but I was in one of those families. And can anyone out there right now imagine, just imagine, just how close and to the actual lifestyle that the slaves lived as the southern coal miner in these hills. Not some of these coal miners out there that where the coal is 40 foot deep, where they like in Wyoming and around, where they just, it's surface mines. But they worked in coal. Somebody call me and tell me the lowest coal you ever know of anyone actually working. I believe, and I might be wrong, that I was told by one of my family members that they had worked in coal as 16-inch coal. I wonder what the actual lowest ever was. You're on the air.
I don't know about the coal mines, but I know that if the sugar factories hadn't opened in the forest back when they did, people in this country couldn't have made it. The women went to work, and the husband would bring the babies up there at lunchtime or whenever they got a break and let them nurse and then take them back home, or whoever was taking care of them.
Okay, I want to talk about that some more whenever I come back from break. I'm going to take a break, and we'll be back, and you can give me a call back, okay?
All righty.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. We'll be back after these words from our sponsors.
Are you missing out on extra Medicare benefits that you may be entitled to? Hi, my name is Blake McCoy with Independent Insurance Consultants. If you have Medicare A and B and have Medicaid, TennCare, Q&B, or receive extra help on your prescription, drug premium, and copays, I want to make sure that you are receiving all the extra benefits that you are entitled to. Call me toll-free today, 1-866-691-5571, and let me help you.
Hi, I'm Cindy Christian with Linda Kilgore State Farm. I've been providing excellent customer service for State Farm customers for 4 years now. I'm licensed in auto, home, life, and health. Come in and see me for all your insurance needs.
Welcome to Razax.
RaisX has a friendly service with a family environment with that country kick. It's a family owned with delicious food, offering breakfast, lunch, supper all day long, and great steaks, wonderful salmon. Also, for that sweet tooth, pies and much more. For the kids, games, daily specials, dine in or carry out. Call 423-569-3354. Call RaisX today.
Riggs Drugs has been a part of Campbell County for generation after generation, serving our friends and neighbors. And now we have redesigned our store to better serve you. It's the same knowledgeable and friendly staff, but a new look and new technology to ensure you get your prescriptions fast. We've always got you covered from prescriptions to all your home health needs. We've always been more than a pharmacy, still offering a huge selection of gifts and decor here at the new and improved Riggs Drugs.
Razor, Ranger, Sportsman, Ace. If you live for the outdoors, there's a Polaris to match your passion. Confident, comfortable, capable. That's Ace. With a solo cockpit, automotive controls, independent suspension, all-wheel drive, and up to 45 horses of fuel-injected power. Calling it revolutionary would be an understatement. Polaris, the world leader in off-road innovation.
All right, we're back. Folks, if you hadn't been over to Razak's yet, and you've seen that commercial, I stopped there Saturday night, and I had pot roast and pinto beans and cornbread for $6.95. Best pot roast, and the only reason why I'm sitting, my wife is not listening, because she can't get this show. Best pot roast I ever ate in my life.
Andy is picking up our CD.
Oh, okay. That's fast. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is this Murray?
Hello, yes.
Yeah, okay.
No, that song that you played from ago, Honeybee plays that song a lot of times on Saturday morning.
Yeah, she told me she did.
And,
I had never heard it before.
another thing I wanted to ask you about, these alarm systems that people has got, and they pay so much a month or a year for.
Uh-huh.
I wonder if our local law enforcement gets any money out of them alarm systems, because they're the ones that comes and checks on them.
Buddy, I have no idea.
Well, I know they spend a lot of time going to them alarms, and if they don't get any money, them alarm system companies ought to be paying somebody.
I agree with you. I'll definitely agree with you. But now they've got alarm systems that alert you when anybody comes around your house or this and that, and they're not that expensive. They're just like anywhere from $70 to $120. It's according to what kind you want and how good a one you want. Because I have those around my house, and even if a dog will run around my house, it alerts me that there's a dog in my yard.
Well, how's your wife doing?
She's doing better. She really is doing better.
Have they ever operated on her heart and put the defib in?
Yes, they put 2 in and a pacemaker.
Well, she'll be up to make it then.
She's going to be start running a marathon because she's getting back in her same old way of trying to boss me.
Well, you need one. I'll talk to you later. You be careful.
Okay, bye-bye. Hello?
Hello. Is this Ariel?
Yes, ma'am.
My name's Annie Burge Blaylock,
Uh-huh.
and I was born and raised over Clinchmore.
Okay. Well, you hold on till I go back on the air.
Oh, you're not on the air? Okay.
I'm not on the air right now. I'll be back on here in just probably 30, 40 seconds.
All right.
she'll be coming back on just any second now.
Okay.
You hadn't forgot me, Honeybee. Honeybee. Huh. She's forgotten me. Am I on the air?
You're on there, I see.
Oh, well, I didn't even know. I didn't even know I was on the air. So I was sitting here. I'm sorry. I didn't realize I was on the air because she forgot, or I didn't hear her say you're on the air. Go ahead, ma'am.
Well, my name's Annie Birch Blaylock.
Uh-huh.
I live at Church, and I was born and raised over at Clinchmore.
Uh-huh.
And, well, I lived there till I was 12-year-old. And I can remember all that, the people that drowned, they were my relatives.
Uh-huh. Well, now, how many houses, average family size, were they large families or just small families lived up there?
Just different sizes.
Yeah.
They were like, people with large families lived in small homes.
I've got some of those house pictures here, rows of them, that is ordered from Sears and Roebuck.
Well, now that was up above the Clinchmore store. Those houses were up there.
Right.
And my sister lived up there, but we lived on up that holler above there.
Oh, okay.
And an old house been there for years, but it was beautiful up in there then.
Oh, okay.
And I was 12-year-old. We moved out in 1949.
Okay.
And it was a wonderful place to live. We went to church at that little Ivy Grove church there. We lived just up the road from it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I appreciate your call, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, there was several. I know I've had at least 3 calls since, and just give me a call back. We'll take it one at a time, and we'll talk to you, and we'll get back on something else here in a little while. But it just bothers me to think that we just absolutely, and again, I'm not a prejudiced person, and you know I've been doing this 22 years. If I was prejudiced, you'd know it by now. But those people, if you look around, and a lot of those people that owned those coal mines and ran those coal mines and their children, they still live today. And every one of them, just about it, is filthy rich. And these people lived on scrip, not U.S. dollars. You're on the air.
I lived in Clinchmore. And there were 11 in our family, and our next door neighbor, they were 14 of them, and my uncle, they were 12 of them people. Just 3 examples of the families.
And those houses were very, very small, weren't they?
4 rooms, and a lot of them were 3 rooms.
And about everybody's house had a bed in the living room.
Yeah, they slept on the couch, most of them.
Yes, or throw the blanket on the floor.
Right.
I can remember my uncle living in one of those camps up at the Fork Ridge. You know where Fork Ridge is at above Middlesboro?
I know exactly where it's at.
And my uncle lived in one of those, and he had 7 or 8 kids, and they slept in the living room. My uncle and his wife, and the kids usually slept within 3 or 4 in a bed. And in fact about it, because I lived with my grandparents, they would actually take me, and I told the story last night over in Scott County, one of the stories that I never did go back and stay with my uncle anymore, but they'd take me in and they'd come and get me. And I would stay a week or 2 at a time in the summertime. Then I'd go to Cincinnati and stay with aunts and uncles, because my grandma and grandpa was so old, and they just let me do that. And it's hard to believe that we had 10, 11, 12 kids living in a 3-room house or a 4-room house. And only thing that was in a room, a lot of places, the only thing was in a room was 2 or 3 beds that you could get in and scoot around. And you had no closets or anything. You had to hang your clothes on a nail or something or other. Was you like that? If you had anything to hang?
I know what you mean.
Huh?
I know what you mean there. I do.
If people if they can't fathom that we lived like that.
I know it.
I lived like that.
Yeah.
But anyway.
And when one of the miners got killed in the mines, RL, they would blow a big whistle.
Yes.
You would hear it all through the camp.
Everybody would quit what they're doing and go see what's...
Her brother at the mines. Exactly.
Yes. Absolutely. Yep. And I've had my aunt, her brother-in-law got killed at Roaches Creek. And I know about those things too. I got to tell you all a story. I might have the guys was with me last night, and we were telling stories that what happened here and there. And now this is a true story without.
I have to hang up, RL. I've got this surround sound on, and I can't turn it off.
Oh, okay. I'll take care of it. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
But anyway, this is an absolute true story, folks. And I know I've told it before. Some of you have probably heard it. But a lot of weird things happen in those camps. And up at Fork Ridge, Middlesboro, their trash, they'd actually bring their trash out of Middlesboro, take it up into one of those strip pits, but they had these little mew mines everywhere up there. And they would pull that coal out with those small mews, and they just put them back in, or do this in the strip pits, and trying to get this coal that's as close as they could get it. And it's already had the face in it, and everything's been moved away, so they get there. That was before they started to drill in the augers so much. But anyway, I was up there one summer, my cousin and I, some of you might know him, Joe Gibson. He just lives up in close to Powell up there, and he lives on this side of the mountain. So anyway, we decided we wanted to make some money, and we was going to use some dynamite and blast some coal out off of the croppings there of an old mines. And the church house was probably 150 yards or maybe 200 yards from where we was at. And on a Sunday morning, and then I'm certain that there's many of you old coal miners out there will remember this, that dynamite, what was that called? That stuff we use for fertilize. That stuff would explode like crazy if you just mix it with a little diesel and whatever. But anyway, Joe, he said, I know where plenty of dynamite's at and caps. So let's just, instead of us using a mattock or a pick, actually the pick, coal picks, I'll just get us a stick and we'll auger. They had these breast augers, and we drilled the hole down in there. And now I'm talking about the dynamite might have been 3 to 4 feet away from the face of the actual bank. It's just up the bank. We just drilled in. And so anyway, put it in there and tamped it and lit the fuse. Well, he took off up the hill, and I ran down and got into one of the outhouses. It's there in the camp. Well, whenever that thing went off, you could almost hear it to Middlesboro, especially down to Yalla Creek. It was loud, my Lord. Everybody ran out of that church. Everybody ran this way and that way. They called the rescue squad. They couldn't find us. They could not find Joe and I, and they thought that we had went back into that mine. But here I am down here in one of these outhouses, and I get scared, and I actually, believe it or not, I crawled down through the hole, and it was one of those Cadillac ones. It was a double-seater. I've never figured out why back then that a lot of people had double-seaters. But who would want to be? But anyway, they did. And so I crawled down in between the floor and that pit, hiding. It scared me to death. And they finally, after maybe 2 or 3, 4 hours, it went for a long time. And then they had even rescue squads coming from Middlesboro and everywhere else. This is one of those crazy things I got into. So I got so scared, it was beginning to get a little dusty because, and so I come out and I told him, I said, now Joe's not in that mine. He went up the hill and he was way up on the mountain up there something and got himself into a place where he knew he could see back to the church and see the people. And so I guess whenever he'd moved down closer enough to where he could see me whenever I got out and started talking. And we both come out, and all this, the story ends as my uncle said, R.L., I'm not going to whip you boys. I hope you learn a lesson. But I'm taking you home, and I'm not bringing you back here anymore. So I never got to go back and live for a week or two with my Uncle Jess. And he was a great man, I really a good man. And he had, I believe it was 6 kids, 6 or 7 kids he had. So anyway, that's one of my wild stories about what happened in this coal mining thing. And it was terrible, folks. And for people said that they would like to go back to the good old days, please don't take me back to them. I would not want to go back into that days. You had to carry water. We only took baths basically 3 times a week because we couldn't afford soap. We actually made lye soap. Did anybody out there ever make any lye soap? We made our own soap. And just a lot of things. But anyway, I'm going to play a couple of songs. Let me just tell you what's on that. And I've sold them all, and I got 2 more ordered that people, I don't have them, but if I'll call Odell and see how long it'll be. But what song would you like to hear? You're on the air?
Yes. It's R.L.
Uh-huh.
I was saved at Clinchmore Church. And
you need to turn your
in the family.
You need to turn your TV down. Okay, now.
I was saved at Clinchmore Church. Preacher Willie West was holding a revival. And there was a whole bunch of us saved that night. And my daddy was a preacher over there. And I love that song about Clinchmore.
That wasn't the first time you'd ever heard it, though, was it?
That's the second time I ever heard it.
And it made chill bumps run all over me when I listened to it the first time.
Yes, it does.
Yes.
Yeah, it makes the chill bumps run all over you. So, but my sister was in that flood, and that was my cousin and his family that got killed over there, washed away.
Oh, gosh.
And we left over there when the mines closed down, we left over there and we went to Cincinnati and we started to work, and it hit after we left. But she still lived there, and she lived there by Pearl's grocery store.
Uh-huh.
And so it was a good place to live. Everybody was happy.
Well, yeah, that's one of the things that was, we've not talked a lot about, but honestly, we didn't see a whole lot of people. The kids got along better. Mom and Dad didn't. We didn't have as many divorces. You know, Tennessee is the #1 state in divorces in this country.
Oh, yeah.
And people just get divorced if they don't like what you said. Hey, you go your way, I'll go mine.
That's right.
But they stayed together. Now, my family didn't stay together. My mother and my father worked in Indiana, and or actually Ohio and Indiana and Pennsylvania. He worked on the Pennsylvania Railroad, and he couldn't do nothing with us and whatever. And then my mother, and if she was alive today, I'd thank her for what she did. When my little brother and I, she took us to our grandmother and grandfather, because she didn't have a father, or I never seen my grandfather on her side, or I never did see my grandmother on her side. So I don't know nothing about her family at all. But she brought us to our grandfather and grandmother, and my grandma and grandpa had 14 kids.
Yeah.
And she left us and told us that you can have these kids, I can't raise them. And she was right. She couldn't raise them, because she ended up, my brother that did live with her said she had got married 8 times in her life.
Uh-huh.
And so I guess she was one of those that if you don't like the way I do things, I'll just go somewhere else and you go your way. I guess that's the way it was. But I thank her today for letting me live with my grandparents, because my grandfather and grandmother couldn't read or write, but they made sure that I could read and write. And my grandfather was the greatest man that ever lived on this earth. And my father was a good man too, but I got lucky by getting the grandparents that I got.
Yeah, you did.
Appreciate your call.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, now is there any song? Let me just read these off. And I think the one that I like the best is House of Gold. And in Why Me, Lord, that's a song. I named this album Why Me, Lord. And it is true. And that's where why me? Why was I given the things that I've been able to do when the rest of my family was never able to be able to, I guess, have the adult life that I've had. One or two of them has had a little bit of, but never at the level that I've been so lucky. Because I don't know, I don't understand it sometimes. But anyway, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to play Why Me, Lord. That's my, and if somebody called me to go and was playing it for me on the air, or not on the air, but anyway, I'm going to play Why Me, Lord, and then Amazing Grace. I'll let them go straight through those, because Amazing Grace, now my wife is helping me on most of these songs, but she won't sing with me no more. She just will not sing with me no more, because I only got a couple of minutes to play these. Why me, Lord? What did I ever do to deserve even one of the pleasures I've known? Help me, Lord. What did I ever do that's worth loving you for the kindness you've shown? Lord, help me, Jesus, I wasted it, so help me, Jesus, I so help me, Jesus. My soul's in your hands. Try me, Lord, if you think there's a way I can try to repay all I've taken from you. Maybe, Lord, I can show someone else what I've been through myself on my way back to you. Lord, help me, Jesus, I wasted it, so help me, Jesus, I know what I am. Now that I know that I needed you, so help me, Jesus, my soul's in your hand. Lord, help me, Jesus, I wasted it, so help me, Jesus, I know what I am. Now that I know that I needed you, so help me, Jesus, my soul's in your hand. Jesus, my soul's in your hand. Now, my wife and I, there's a little bit difference in this song than most people sing it. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. I was blind, but now I see. Grace that taught my heart to feel, and grace my fear relieve. How precious is that grace that filled the hour I first believed. Been there 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun. We know less days to sing God's praise. That's when we first began. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. I was blind, but now I see. We'll be back after these words from our sponsors.
Are you missing out on extra Medicare benefits that you may be entitled to? Hi, my name is Blake McCoy with Independent Insurance Consultants. If you have Medicare A and B and have Medicaid, TennCare, QMB, or receive extra help on your prescription, drug premium, and copays. I want to make sure that you are receiving all the extra benefits that you are entitled to. Call me toll-free today, 1-866-691-5571, and let me help you.
Hi, my name is Jeremy Pierce. I may not be Jake from State Farm, but I do wear khakis. I've been here with Linda Kilgore's office for 2 years. I enjoy helping people make a decision regarding their insurance based on their needs and wants. I'm fully licensed. I enjoy selling auto, home, and life insurance. So feel free to come in or call in any time, and I'll be glad to help you.
Welcome to Razax.
Razax has a friendly service with a family environment with that country kick. It's a family owned with delicious food, offering breakfast, lunch, supper all day long, and great steaks, wonderful salmon. Also, for that sweet tooth, pies and much more. For the kids, games, daily specials, dine in or carry out. Call 423-569-3354. Call Razax today.
Riggs Drugs has been a part of Campbell County for generation after generation, serving our friends and neighbors. And now we have redesigned our store to better serve you. It's the same knowledgeable and friendly staff, but a new look and new technology to ensure you get your prescriptions fast. We've always got you covered from prescriptions to all your home health needs. We've always been more than a pharmacy, still offering a huge selection of gifts and decor here at the new and improved Riggs Drugs.
A Mule Pro FXT can't handle. The 2015 Mule Pro FXT. The Mule Pro FXT is engineered to smooth out the most rugged terrain. Over 8.5 inches of suspension travel make uneven surfaces feel a lot less jarring, while a tight 16-foot turning radius combined with electric power steering means easy and effortless cornering on a dime. Engine braking is tuned for a controlled feel when heading downhill, and high output LED headlights light up the way. Round out this exceptional package with the maximum stopping power of front and rear disc brakes, and there's almost nothing the Mule Pro FXT can't handle. The 2015 Mule Pro FXT.
Okay, folks, we're back. I had brought some of these CDs over and left them with Honeybee, and I had forgotten about them, and probably a year or two ago. So she still has them back there. See, there's might be 4 or 5 back there. I don't know, but at least the people that's called here tonight, if you come over here by after 3 o'clock tomorrow or 3 o'clock any day until she runs out, they're $10. Now I'm going to play you one more song, then I'm going to go to talk about something else that I want to talk about, and then we'll go from there. But I'm going to play House of Gold, and several people that listen to me sing House of Gold says it's the best version they'd ever heard. Now there's make my head swim or puff out, but they say it's the best version that they'd ever heard. And they bought my record just because of that. So here it goes.
Lose my soul, can't lose my soul, my soul, my soul, can't lose my soul, lose my soul, can't lose.
I'd rather be in a deep, dark grave and to know that my poor soul was saved than to live in this world in a house of gold. And now my God, and lose my soul. Some people steal, they cheat and lie for wealth and wine. day. That gold and silver will melt away. I'd rather be in a deep dark grave and to know that my poor soul was saved than to live in this world in a house of gold and deny my God and lose my soul. Lose my soul. Lose my soul, can't lose my soul, my soul, my soul can't lose. What good is gold and silver too if your heart's not pure and true? Oh, sinner, hear me when I say, better fall down on your knees and pray. I'd rather be in a deep dark grave and know that my poor soul was saved than to live in this world in a house of gold and deny my God and lose my soul. I'd rather be in a deep dark grave and to know that my poor soul was saved than to live in this world in a house of gold and deny my God and lose my soul and deny my God and lose my soul. My soul can't lose my soul. My soul, my soul can't lose my soul. My soul can't lose my soul. All right. Now, folks, I have got to make up some time for my buddy down at Ron's Golf Carts. I'm telling you, folks, he's selling them fast as he can get them. And we appreciate it. So you need to get down there, get your order in, and tell him that Ariel sent you. Folks, what he does, he gets these golf carts, he goes through them like a fine-tooth comb. He knows what he's doing. You don't find many people that really knows what they're doing about this, but this man really knows what he's doing. He was one of those smart guys that come out of Wynn. There's not that many of them come out of there. I knew Gordon Stout from up there, but Gordon, he didn't shine the light as well as this man does down here. I'm telling you, he knows what he's doing. And if you go into the La Follette flea market, indoor flea market, everything is priced. You know what the price is when you go in there. Ron's Golf, that's behind Long John Silver's. And you're on the air.
Brother Ariel, I love that singing. You sound good.
Well, thank you.
I could feel the spirit of the Lord. That's a true song.
Thank you.
Have you ever been saved yet?
To be honest with you, I can't say that I have, but I'm like a guy that called me over one day, and he had stopped. There was taking up a collection for the fire department over on 63, And he said, I want to talk to you, me and Ariel. I said, I want to tell you something other. And I've known him for years, and he is a real church-going person. And Jim West, the one that's the pastor at White Rock Church in Huntsville, I don't know where you know about that or not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know that.
And anyway, he said, I've got to tell you something. He said, I got saved last week. I said, what? You've been going to church and you've been in the doing all the church work and saying you was a Christian, you was saved. He said, no, I didn't know that I was until I really got saved.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether I have or not. And
39 years ago I got saved, and I ain't never got over it. And I was raised a Christian.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I was raised in a Christian home.
Yeah, all you do is just call upon the name of the Lord, you know. Shall be saved. It's like that.
That's the reason why I say I can't say I have or I haven't. Yeah. I'm saying right now, but in the way that I believe, I think my chances of getting in heaven might be a little slimmer than some other people, but it's also, there's a door there for me.
Yeah, just the blood of Jesus, you know, he changes it.
Yeah. I appreciate your call. Oh.
Well, thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. You're on the air.
Ariel?
Uh-huh.
I was born at Clinchmore, and a couple of those people that got killed were my cousins, and I was wondering where I could get a copy of that song.
I'm going to be honest with you. I have no idea. It's, like I said, last night we were talking about it on my show in Scott County, and this lady called me. She said, I live in Norma, and said, I have a copy of that song. If you'll come and get it, I'll loan it to you to let you play it for, and I won't play it over in Scott County next week because most of those people hadn't heard it either. And so a guy called me and he said, Ariel, you don't have to go to Norma. I will bring one and put it in your mailbox. It'll be there when you come home. So I got it, and that's what I'm playing. I don't even know really who to give it back to. So, but I love that song. It just made chill bumps run all over me whenever I played it this morning.
Well, I was born over in 1936, and we moved from there in 1940, and I had these Burgess was killed there, and they were my cousins, and I've heard the song a couple times, but I don't know where I could get one at.
I don't either. You might be able to. I mean, I don't even have any. This is just written on with a marking pen. It says Clinchmore Flood, and that's all it says.
Yeah. Well, you was talking about that reunion. It's supposed to be the 25th of July.
Right.
Yeah.
They might be somebody up there that has copies of it.
Yeah. Well, I was wanting to get some, of that song and get like some of those pictures that you have there.
Well, these pictures, I wish I could show it to you. They talked about that rock. I don't know where you can see this or not. Can you see the pictures holding it up in front of my face? Right there, there's a rock that has a cross on it. And they said that rock was laying in front of that church. It's still there. And
I've been over there, but my grandma had a house way up there in the holler, and her house didn't get washed away. That the cousins was over at their uncle's house, and their house got washed away.
Well, a few years back, it might have been 5 or 6 years ago, whenever they closed down Stony Fork School. Right there in front of Stony Fork School, they built a very nice bridge across the creek there. And they ain't, but I mean, that bridge cost probably $200,000-$300,000, and there's not but one house past that bridge.
Well, there's not very many on up through there, and the road is not too good. I you pass up the bridge anyway. The last time I was up there,
Uh-huh.
and
Well,
so,
that preacher, he said last night that you could drive up there in your car, on any car, easy, that the road is that good right now.
yeah. Well, you know how a road is. If it comes a good rain, or it may wash away.
That's exactly right, because it's definitely not paved. Appreciate your call.
Okay, bye.
Thank you very much. Folks, I'm willing, to, like I said, to talk to you about anything. But there's another thing that's kind of on my mind that I want to talk about. Some people may not want to talk about it. But about 4 years ago, 5 years ago now, because time passes so fast. I mean, it's just too fast. This guy in Scott County, they caught him with a bunch of porn on his computer. And these two guys decided that they was going to beat him up. It happened over in Paint Rock. And so, anyway, they go down, and I don't know why the back door was blocked, so they decided just to burn him out, so he couldn't live there anymore. Well, he gets out, and his wife couldn't get out. She got trapped and couldn't get out the back door. And it killed her. And through a little bit of investigation, this guy that had all the porn on there was given an opportunity to leave the state of Ohio and move to Tennessee. Now, that person was a criminal. So their way to deal with that criminal was to move him somewhere else and make it somebody else's problem. Those lawyers are good at that. But those two guys, one of them was a father of a football player that got a full scholarship to a small college in Minnesota. He didn't go on, he come back home, didn't take long. He's got had another son that's the best, in my book, is the best football player that Scott County has right now. And they had a daughter that's going to be a fantastic athlete. And so their dad in prison for 25 years for his part in the death of that woman. I shouldn't have said that woman. Made me think of Bill Clinton saying it. But no, anyway, that person died because a couple of people wanted to take the laws in their own hands. And I assumed that they had a drink or two, to make matters worse. And now I see, and the paper has been with Mr. Barkley's name, pictures, everything in the world since he got out of prison. And alcohol was definitely a part of the problem, evidently, because it seems like every time he would be drinking alcohol, because he's on probation for the use of alcohol. And now he's gone. Our justice system here allowed this young man to move away from a problem here rather than trying to help that person. If he's got that problem here, he's going to have that same problem in Virginia, Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, California. It doesn't make any difference. He's going to have that same problem. And we know he's got that problem. But we allow this person to move in and cause somebody else a problem. Now, wherever he was at, a counselor, a woman, took this young man in to her home. Now, I haven't heard anything about the mysterious death of a 3-year-old at that home. That baby died, so this counselor says he can't live here no more. So what happened there? I think it's wrong. I'm not saying this young man has done any crime other than what was already known here in Tennessee. But to just move that person away and think that he's going to do better somewhere else is ridiculous. And the reason why I bring the thing out in Scott County, I'm a person in Ohio, the people sent their problem away from them and sent it here, and there's 3 kids, I mean outstanding kids, that doesn't have a father because he got drunk, wanted to take the law in his own hands because that was in his neighborhood, and this guy had this porn on his computer. You're on the air.
Yes, since you're talking on Kenny Bartley, I heard on Channel 8 News the other evening the same section and gave an interview to the news, and I heard him saying on there he didn't want him within 20 miles of his house. Then why would he put him in a home with a 3-year-old kid is what I'd like to know.
That's what I don't understand. And we sit around here and we let people just go and go and go and go. Here's a man on the front page that robbed a bank in Jellicoe.
Right.
And
it's like also, like we were talking, it comes back that he had something to do with that child's death. It looks to me like that judge that had some responsibility for letting him go there and live in the house with a 3-year-old child.
a woman and a 3-year-old child.
Right. And right now, they don't know whether she's even a counselor. She's not got no license for Tennessee. And the last they had on the news, they can't find any in Virginia for her. She may not even be a counselor.
I'd like to know what kind of law officers and judges and stuff that we have here.
Well, it's like I was talking with Jerry the other night on his show. This judge should be held accountable for putting him in the house with that 3-year-old child and its mother accountable too. And it's like I said, for a fact, on the Marlowe deal where he beat his mother to death, his father went a week before that happened and asked the judge to put him back in a mental hospital to get him on his medication. That judge refused, and a week later, he had beat his mother to death. Now, if these judges would do stuff when parents come to them and people and ask them, this may not be happening.
Well, like I said, here's a guy that robs a bank and gets 3 years sentence. Well, heck, far whenever I was young and you robbed a bank, you got life in prison probably.
Well, it's like it, one guy that in Jellicoe, they got him for sexually molesting a boy, caught him in the bed with him in the motel room, and he got probation, supervised probation.
I know this irks me. I mean, it totally. And people says you don't need to be talking to me about these sexual things. Have you got a hang up, RL? No, I don't have a hang up. What I do have is I have anger about the way that some of these things are judged.
Well, if you shove it under the rug, there's not going to be nothing solved. And it's the kids that suffers from all of this. They don't get the help they need.
in fact about it, and I'm not, and I don't know Kenny Barkley, okay? But we all, just by reading the paper, we all know that something is not working just right.
Right.
And so, some way, somehow, it's our problem. It's not Virginia's problem.
Right.
It's the state of Tennessee. He's a Tennessean. He was born and raised here. It's a Tennessee problem. We need to try to find the help that he needs, or whatever. If he can't be helped, put him in an institution. Not. He doesn't have to be in a hard knock. The way he was put in with adults as a child here. God only knows what he's went through.
Exactly. But what gets me is the judge states on TV, prison wasn't working for him. You don't get put in prison not to be, you're put there to be punished, not to be having fun. I mean, that's just like, I know he was a teenager, but the thing of it is, if a teenager is done that way, what's the thing? They don't take these adults out and say, well, prison just didn't work for him. Let's put him on probation.
Yeah, I got this paper. I didn't realize what all had happened, and I got this paper yesterday of the Christian Journal, and mankind, I mean, it's just one thing after another, and people getting off from this, off from that, and
they said they put him there to get him away from his family. His mother was with him.
and so she went with him.
She was in Virginia with him when he disappeared.
Oh, I appreciate your call.
Thank you.
Thank you. You're on the air.
Hello, Ariel. You heard people say, well, but he was a young boy. Give him another chance. Well, he's had 4 or 5 chances, and he keeps messing up.
That's exactly what I'm saying. And why would we send that problem? And I'm not talking about him as a young man. I'm talking about there's a problem. We know that there's some kind of a problem with that young man. Why would they send it to Virginia?
The little boy that died, the little 3-year-old boy,
Uh-huh.
has anyone heard anything said about his father? Has his father come forward and said anything?
Well, has anybody said anything? If it has, they haven't released it here.
They just talked about the mother and her mother and dad, the grandparents. But if you put 2 and 2 together, you may figure out who the father of that little boy is.
It's very possible that Kenny Barkley is the father of that little boy.
Yes, very possible.
Because I know that down in Brushy Mountain, and I know a guard down there. I know him real well. And there was one of the actual, I believe she was a supervisor, got pregnant by one of the inmates.
Yeah, it happens all the time.
And
but I noticed through any of it, there's never been a father stepped forward. And if that had been my child, I would have been right there wanting to know what happened.
Absolutely. I mean, well, I got to run for a break. I'll be back.
Okay.
Be back after these words from our sponsors. Thank you.
Are you missing out on extra Medicare benefits that you may be entitled to? Hi, my name is Blake McCoy with Independent Insurance Consultants. If you have Medicare A and B and have Medicaid, TennCare, Q&B, or receive extra help on your prescription, drug premium, and copays, I want to make sure that you are receiving all the extra benefits that you are entitled to. Call me toll-free today, 1-866-691-5571, and let me help you.
Hi, I'm Linda Kilgore. This is my 35th year with State Farm, my 25th year here in Campbell County. I'm not a high pressure salesman. I like to just sit down with my customers and help them decide what's right for them. Thank you, and I hope to see you soon.
Welcome to Razax.
Razax has a friendly service with a family environment with that country kick. It's a family owned with delicious food, offering breakfast, lunch, supper all day long, and great steaks, wonderful salmon. Also, for that sweet tooth, pies and much more. For the kids, games, daily specials, dine in or carry out. Call 423-569-3354. Call Razax today.
Riggs Drugs has been a part of Campbell County for generation after generation, serving our friends and neighbors. And now we have redesigned our store to better serve you. It's the same knowledgeable and friendly staff, but a new look and new technology to ensure you get your prescriptions fast. We've always got you covered from prescriptions to all your home health needs. We've always been more than a pharmacy, still offering a huge selection of gifts and decor. Here at the new and improved Riggs Drugs.
Linda Kilgore, State Farm.
State Farm agent Linda Kilgore is driven to save you money on your home, auto, and life insurance.
Hi, my name is Linda Kilgore. I'm a State Farm agent in Jacksboro, Tennessee. I have 32 years insurance experience. I have been here in Campbell County for about 21 years. We offer auto, homeowners, life, health, banking, and mutual funds. Come by and let us give you a quote. It doesn't cost you anything. We can answer all your questions and choose the coverage that's right for you.
Or see State Farm agent Ann Gwen Love.
If you need rental insurance, stop by and see me at Linda Kilgore State Farm.
For all your insurance needs, see State Farm agent Linda Kilgore in Jacksboro across from Walmart. 423-566-5000. 566-5000.
Now with the full line of independent rear suspension options, the all-new Foreman Rubicon and Rancher automatic DCT models are equally ready to work and have fun. Part of the growing ATV family from Honda.
All right, we're back, folks, and I'm ready for your calls. And don't forget, I'll get back my seat. Do not forget Ron's Golf Carts and Emporiums. Now, he's got an indoor flea market down there, folks. Everything is clean. He takes this stuff and he really works on it. In fact, about it, I caught him working this afternoon, and he keeps it nice. And he has those golf carts. You just need to run down there and check him out. That's Ron's Golf Carts and indoor flea market. Oh, you're on the air? Well, I just cut somebody off, folks. Call me right back. I'm sorry. I was trying to get this stuff out of the way here, where I was playing disc jockey. You're on the air.
Yeah, Arnold. I want to point out something. The father of that child spoke out to Jamie Shatterfield of the Knoxville News Sentinel, who has covered Kenny Bartley since 2005.
Okay. Now, what does his father say?
That he was appreciative of the investigation,
Oh, okay.
which I think was a very good public statement, actually.
Oh, okay.
Did you read the News Sentinel Saturday morning?
No, I didn't.
Well, it was very telling. You need to get yourself a copy.
Okay. If I could get one, I'll try my best to get one. Usually it's hard to get them, unless you live in Knoxville and go down to the and get them from the News Sentinel.
James Sexton is quoted in there saying very detailed messages about this.
Uh-huh.
And I think it's very telling.
Okay. I appreciate your call. Could you share any of that information with us about it being very?
Yeah, that he is a ticking time bomb. And
That-
that it is not going to end well. And that he is a judge's worst nightmare.
Uh-huh.
And that he was interrogated twice by the Vienna, Virginia police, and he ran. And he did his best with the laws that he had to work with here in the state of Tennessee.
Uh-huh. Well, you know, it seemed like everybody that Isaac represents gets a either go or a light sentence.
Well, if you want to commit a crime and you've got $300,000, then Isaac's is the one you need.
Well,
I mean, that's the way I look at that.
okay, I know what you're saying.
You know, I told you on this show 9 years ago what you were dealing with. That everybody wanted to blame the principals.
Uh-huh. Well, you know,
And now 10 years later, we're still dealing with it.
Yep. And, you know, and what I said then, and I'll still say it now, you know, one of the things, even an animal, if you cage them up, especially if they've got problems, they're going to really hit you hard. And
well, according to his psychiatrist, and I can say this because I'm a normal person, I'm not a court officer, that it wasn't released because he was a minor. He abused animals as a child.
Uh-huh.
He is a psychopath.
Well, I'm not going to deny that because there is something that's not right.
Oh, he ain't right. You got that right.
Something is definitely not right.
No, and now the rest of society is dealing with it.
Okay.
You know, it is what it is, that we can't change that. But, you know, it's a shame that we were the only place in states that blame the victims that were shot instead of the perpetrator.
Okay.
That's sick. I mean, I'm not saying they were perfect. They were doing their job. None of those men were perfect.
The only thing that
the minute he took his gun to school, put him in the wrong.
you know, only thing that I had said, I believe in that way of saying, I believe the principal absolutely made a mistake for one simple reason. If it's true,
call the police. I know.
It didn't. Well, it didn't call the police, and that kid had attacked that principal before. Didn't he stick a pencil through his hand or something like that?
Well, yeah, in middle school, but the thing is, when that principal entered that room, he didn't even know what was going on.
Oh.
That's testimony. Now, if you will pull up archives on WDIR the day after the shooting, which would be November the 9th, 2005, WDIR, you will have Rita Goins stating
Excuse me.
that the police could not be called until the weapon was found.
Oh.
Which is wrong. I mean, that's a wrong
That's the wrong law.
policy to have to begin with, but it was still policy. And she was administrator at the time.
Huh.
So it's all wrong.
Yeah.
To blame the men, I mean, principals are not supposed to be police officers. They're not supposed to be correction officers. They're not supposed to be prison wards. They're not supposed to go to the police academy. They are educators. And for anybody to think for 1 minute that they should have handled it any differently without being put in a room with the other person with a Derringer 22 gun, I mean, that's hindsight 2020. None of us can call that.
Oh, I understand that. I understand what you're saying. Appreciate your call.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. I know somebody's been waiting for a long time, and I guess they just now hung up. And it's open now, so give me a call back. We got another 15 minutes and I know I've bored some of you to death tonight, and I hope we've enlightened some people. And But I wasn't aware of all this stuff until I read this in the paper today. But that's just, it upsets you if we just move one problem from one state to another. That's crazy. You're on the air.
Did you hear about the Far Side Restaurant in Huntsville burning?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh boy, that was a good place to eat.
It sure was.
I bet that was one of your wife's favorite places.
Well, you know what? And you're not going to believe this. My wife very seldom will go out and eat. The only time she goes out and eats when them grandbabies, she takes them out to eat.
Oh well.
She won't be seen with me in public.
Oh, my son used to live in Old Island. When I'd go over, we'd stop there and eat. I'd take them over to eat if it's somebody's birthday or something.
Yeah, it's a great.
They fixed all kinds of good food.
Right. It's a great restaurant to eat at. Now, I'll tell you what, at Razak's, you got to go over there and try it. I'm telling you, it's as good a food as you'll ever eat anywhere.
Don't go over there anymore. He's not over there.
Well, just go over there, just take a ride. You know how beautiful it is over through there. I appreciate your call.
I've not lost a thing over there.
Okay. Bye. You're on the air.
Hello, Mario.
Hey, how you doing?
I don't believe he's got no human emotions, because he's never showed any. Kenny Bartley and he just murdered him in cold blood, and he tried to murder the other two. He could have brought that gun to school without bullets in it, and he knows what he was doing.
Well, I'm not. Like I said, there's definitely a problem there.
We've all had bad teachers, but we don't go shoot somebody just because we don't like them.
I understand that.
Cold-blooded murder, what he did. He's been offered help here in Campbell County, and he won't go to it. They've offered him all kinds of help, drug treatment and everything.
Well, here's the thing.
He just won't go to it.
Here's the thing about it is, they're the law. They can force.
Yeah, they needed to do that, because anybody that tries to strangle their own mother like he did, I wouldn't put it past him. He'll do somebody else before it's over with.
Yeah.
And I feel sorry for wherever he's at, because he's a danger to wherever he's at.
Well, I just hope the boy can find some peace of mind, whatever that is, and can get his life under control. But what the last two or three decisions that's been made by our law enforcement or not our law, our justice, whatever, is just not working.
They needed to do something while they had him here, force him to at least, and try to give him some help. But
well, maybe now. You know, they say that because he's on a misdemeanor probation, that they can't even force him back to Tennessee now.
Oh yeah, and he'll get away with it. And so he'll probably murder somebody else before it's over. I ain't judging him, but that's just my beliefs.
Okay, I appreciate your call.
Okay, thank you, Ario. You have a good night.
Thanks. Bye-bye. Oh, it's been a long day for me. I'm one of those night owls. I don't go to bed till 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. Oh, my doorbell rang this morning at 8 o'clock. I've been up since 8 o'clock. I know a lot of you feel sorry for me. It's been a long day. You're up. Give me a call back. I don't know how I missed you, but give me a call back. We got another 10 minutes or so. And folks, I enjoy, whether you believe it or not, I love doing what I do. I don't never try to hurt anybody whenever I'm sitting here. And some people say, well, I'd hurt this one, I'd hurt that, and I'd do this, and I'd do that. That's not what I'm all about. And I hope it, and I don't have revenge on anyone. But there's just certain things that I just don't understand, and I think we should have someone that would challenge it. And you know, if we got so many people that just will not challenge anything. Oh, you don't need to be talking about that. You don't need to do this. Oh, this family over here and this and over here. That's what's wrong with us. It's just like us accepting script. Our forefathers accepted script just so they could feed their families. And so many people took advantage of the people, and it's just awful. You're on the air.
Hey, big guy.
Hey, how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing all right. Hanging in there. Hey,
Yeah.
I got to tell you something. I went down to sign a petition to run for office next year.
Well,
Did you know I got disqualified already? It says that I can't run for office because my parents were married when I was born.
oh God, I knew there was something other. I was just going to say something different than that.
You have a safe trip across that mountain tonight, okay?
Okay, I will.
Watch out for wild bears, especially them English out there. They're real dangerous.
Yeah, I got to tell you this hillbilly joke.
What?
Because you always sending me and I can't receive your stuff right now. But anyway, it's one time these two hillbillies, you know, these guys that ride these rails make.
Hey, I'm gonna get off here and listen to your joke.
Okay.
Hey, bye-bye. Thank you for taking my call.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye. But anyway, see, we can tell these hillbilly jokes on our own self. This, you know, these people ride these ATVs and they also take cars and make rails out of them, just put pipes in them all around them and strap themselves in and they climb these hills like you wouldn't believe, folks. And they were try to take them up trees even. So anyway, these two hillbillies, John and Jimmy, they bought them one of them Volkswagen, and they're going to make them a rail out of it, so they put it on their car or truck and took it home and pull it off. So John's up the front and he opens up the hood and he said, Jimmy said, we've been taken. Said, there's not even a motor in this thing. And Jimmy said, oh, that's okay. There's a spare in the trunk. I thought that was cute. A spare in the trunk. See, they can tell those jokes on us, the dumb hillbillies, but they can't tell them on. We can't tell them on the Italians and the Polacks and stuff like that, like we used to. Now we just got to tell it on ourselves. But anyway, I'm here for another 7 or 8 minutes, and I'm looking for something to talk about. Somebody's got something to complain about out there. I know you've got to have something to complain about. The world is not that good, and I know Mr. Henson has had illness in his family, so and he hadn't got really cranked up on this, but now I've seen that we had another candidate from the Republican Party, and he said something that he said it on May the 10th. And I'd like to know what you all think. Lindsey Graham down in South Carolina says, if I'm elected president, if our intelligence find that you're wanting to go join ISIS or Al-Qaeda or whatever, or Al-Qaeda or whatever they call it, he said, I will not send the law after you. I'll send a drone and I will kill you. Anybody got anything to say about that? What's your take on that? Now, he announced that he was running for president today. The way I took it, I'm not going to listen to what you got to say or anything. You're on the air.
Hey, you know that Chicago Mafia up there printed some counterfeit money like a couple weeks ago? And
the guy made a mistake and he printed a whole bunch of $18 bills. And of course they got all his bosses got all over, and he said, "Well, that's no problem. We'll take them down here and file it." They'll take them. Pulled up in front of R.L. Henson. And that guy said, "I need change for an $18 bill." And old R.L. he said, "What do you want? 3 6s, 2 9s, or 6 3s?"
Yeah, I've heard it.
He's way ahead of him, wasn't he?
He's way ahead of him.
Hey, I tell you what, Lindsey Graham, don't you even worry about him ever becoming president.
I'm not.
I'll tell you what, Lindsey Graham reminds me of these Campbell County, some of these Campbell County Republicans. They got no business holding office. I tell you, we used to have a good Republican Party here, but it's now being run by the very people we voted out of office. And you heard about what happened down there one Saturday morning, didn't you? How they stole the Campbell County Republican Party.
I heard a little bit about it.
They wouldn't let anybody else be nominated or
Yeah,
voted on.
they closed it.
I'll tell you, it was the biggest sham I ever saw. I refer to them as the detention hall game. Bunch of boys out of the detention hall went there and stole that thing. One of them, after he stole the office, said, "I am so humbled and honored to hold this office." Can you imagine a receiver of stolen goods? You bring grandma's TV in there or something. He says, "I'm so honored and humbled to receive this stolen television." I tell you, it's a mess. It's a mess. The good Republicans in this county ought to do something about that.
Oh, okay.
Maybe next election they will.
Well, what about Rand Paul? What's your thoughts about Rand Paul?
I really admire his daddy, but I don't think the son is as steady as his daddy was philosophically. I think it's too much of an opportunity. I think one I'm keeping an eye on is Dr. Ben Carson and this Carly Fiorina. Fiorani. I can't ever pronounce her name right, but I'm especially about Carson. It worried me when he went up there and visited Al Sharpton. But Carly, I really like Carly right now.
Yeah, but I don't know how Ben Carson got even in the. You never heard of him before until all of a sudden, hey, here's a guy that could be a good president. I never heard of him. I hadn't.
The people I would take a look at is John Kasich, the governor of Ohio.
I'm going to tell you.
That stayed around.
I'm telling you right now, I am a big fan of Hillary Clinton, but the one person that I would not want out of that crowd get the nomination would be Kasich, because I'm telling you, Kasich, he's more in the middle of the road than any Republican candidate out there.
Well, he's done a great job in Ohio, and that Scott Walker did a great job in Wisconsin. But anyway, yeah, they're all still pretty much governmentalists. And I don't know if there's anybody in that crowd that'll stand up. But you'll never see another Republican president unless we have a really bad situation.
Well, I hope what you're saying that I live to see the next Republican president.
Hey, you'll live a long time, Mr. R.L.
That's an opportunist.
Yeah, we'll catch you later.
Okay, bye-bye. Folks, don't forget Ron's Golf Carts indoor flea market down there. I'm telling you, folks, if you like browsing, you will love this place. And and he's a fun guy just to talk to. You can just talk to him for 5 minutes, say, "I'll see you," and he'll say, "See you." He doesn't continue to carry on that conversation. And if you want to sit and talk for 3 hours, he'll sit and talk for 3 hours. But the thing about it is, he doesn't twist your arm for you to buy something. What he does, he knows his product. He knows it inside and out. And he tells you, this is what I'll take from this product. And I'm one of those that don't like the G and haw. You go in and say, "Hey, how much he says it's, let's just say it's $3,000. You say, I'll give you $2,700. He'll either take it or and when he says no, you just might as well pack up and go because he knows his product. That's his selling point. He knows his product. He knows what it's worth. Good night, everybody. I'll see you next week.